I'm tired. What is going on, ladies and gents? Got a pretty last minute decision here. I'm gonna shoot 2 hours up into Maine. I'm gonna go try and fish Sebago. I honestly don't know what to expect for ice. I know this place is kind of famous for forming pressure ridges and breaking off chunks, not fun stuff, but I figured at the minimum I could go check it out, and if that doesn't pan out, I'll go to a lake nearby. I've always meant to fish Sebago, but never gotten up there. So I'm gonna see if I can change that today. Everybody's always talking about the lake trout fishing there. I know it's declined over the years because the state's trying to get rid of all the small ones and keep the bigger ones in there, but I'm gonna go try my luck, and hopefully we'll get there just after sunrise, which should make for some good fishing. But I'm gonna pound this coffee, put some fuel in my tank, and get ripping up there. Well, ladies and gents, we made it to Sebago Lake. It's been a long time coming for this one. Actually, it's like, I can't even believe I'm standing out here right now. This place hasn't been frozen enough for years, so I never got the chance to fish it, but here we are. I got a good like 8 inches right now, and we're out in the middle. I'm gonna fish here for a bit, see if there's any fish around this area before I set everything up. I think I want to set the tent up today though. It's cold up here. Camera gear's already acting up. Great sign. I might just put the tent up now. Actually, this is like barely any wind, but it is some cold wind. I'm really hoping that this fish here. Now I'm not gonna need to move today because I really don't want to move today. Oh, here's a mark. Yep, he's chasing. There we go. I don't know if I still have him on. No, he whacked it though. Dang, that was a fish. I was on my phone. I'm a silly goose. That is why you pay attention. Was a fish. Was a couple. I'm gonna draw past them, see if that works. Dang, they're not chasing right now. There's a couple fish though, just sitting there. They're kind of not acting like trout. I don't know. That's pretty strange. Oh, there are whitefish. All right, I'll put a small rod down in case I see some whitefish. I don't really know how whitefish act compared to lake trout. Maybe we'll find out today. Oh, here's a fish. I think he might have stopped. I can't tell, so much interference on my screen. Oh, here's another fish. There we go. That's a fish on. Oh, he's pretty good. There we go, baby. I think he's right here. Oh, he's all right. Not huge, not tiny. Let's go, baby. That's the first Laker. First Sebago Laker. Oh, he's just got a face full of smelt. He pooped all over me. Look at that. Just smelt in his mouth. Kind of a fat Laker. Let's go, baby. Oh, I love lake trout. I'm gonna keep a couple of these things for dinner. Maine wants you to keep like all of the small ones. I'm not planning on keeping every single one because I don't think that's very good. I'll keep like 3 to 5 maybe. We'll see how the fishing is, and then I'll decide what I want to do. First, the lake trout. Oh, I'm amped. Well, Made a little hole to bleed that one out. While I wait for that to fill, I'm just gonna drop this down here in case another one sees it and wants to come play. But man, I'm amped. I mean, I've already seen plenty of fish over here, so I'm happy about my spot. Some of them, like, they come off the bottom real slow and they look at it like, I don't know if those are lake trout or maybe those are whitefish. I don't really know where you're supposed to catch whitefish. I've heard they're kind of in the same areas as lake trout, so I guess it wouldn't shock me to see some over here, but I don't really know. Oh, that's a fish. Oh, I had him. There we go. That feels like a laker. Oh, my line is not looking too good here. Not a fan of that. Oh, that's a pretty nice one. About the same size, I'd say. About that. A little bigger, maybe. Definitely a bit fatter. I mean, just look at that. Oh, I love lake trout. These things are so cool. Gorgeous looking fish. Well, this isn't really how you like your rod to look, so I'm gonna try and fix that. I feel like they definitely reacted better to this bait rather than that blade bait I have. Probably looks more like a smelt, which is what they're eating down there. I feel like I should screw this tent in, probably. That might be a pretty good idea. Before this wind picks me up and blows me away, I'm gonna get this tent screwed in. I thought I might get away with it because it's not too windy, but I'm just not gonna risk it. So we'll be back in a minute. I'm sure I'm gonna miss about 100 fish under me, but that is okay. Well, that didn't take as long as usual. Usually I have to fight with the screws to get them started, but that went pretty quick. But I do have another task at hand, which is untangling this rod, because I do want to use that little swim bait I just caught the last one on. I think there might be one on the bottom right now. I'm slowly learning that inline reels are not really meant for deep water fishing. I think at some point soon I'm gonna switch that rod over to a spinning reel. They're just too easy to tangle when you're dropping down. And when you're in deep water like this, I mean, you're dropping down quite a lot. I've been seeing a lot of pairs of 2 coming in. And I mean, I've never caught a big one, but from what I've seen on videos, it kind of seems like the big ones will be solitary hunters for the most part. And the smaller ones that are like 2 feet or under, they'll kind of pair, triple up, which in my experience is pretty accurate. Oh, that's a fish. Oh, you had it. I think there's a couple down here. I think there was 2. It seemed like the first one wanted it pretty bad, and then don't know what happened after that, but I think there was one more down there that was not so interested. Well, haven't seen a fish in probably 15-20 minutes, which typically that's like whatever, but I haven't gone like 10 minutes yet without seeing a fish here. So I'm gonna say for the immediate moment things have slowed down a little, so I'm gonna measure these fish. I'm just curious to see how long they are. Oh, the bigger one's 18. I figure I probably don't need to measure the other one. It's probably like 16, 17. Currently it's 950. And at least for me, like in this spot, this is like the most insane lake trout action I've had. I don't know if this is like a slow day for Sebago or if it's a normal day or what. I hear a lot of people now calling it slow bago. And I mean, my first impression of this place, not too bad. With lake trout, I'm kind of happy just catching numbers. I don't need to catch a prehistoric monster. So I mean, with the action I'm getting here, I'm not too upset. As far as like where I'm set up, the general like structure of it, I'm kind of on a hump. It's a main lake hump. I've never had the ability to fish a main lake hump because I've never really gone to a big enough lake to to where there's like structure in the middle. It's usually just a big drop off. But I'm on a main lake hump. I think it's about 70 feet right where I am. If you were to go in front of me a bit, it gets down to I think 140. If you were to go behind me, it gets down to like 100. Usually what lake trout try to do is they'll find some bait, maybe a school or something, and they'll try and push it up these humps, and it kind of disorients the bait fish and it gives them a good chance to eat. Or on the other hand, they'll just kind of cruise up these hills looking for bait. Like maybe one got separated from its school or it's just confused, and they'll come up, see your lure sitting here, and they'll think it's one of those bait fish that's confused, separated from its school, and then it's showtime. There's quite a lot of these humps throughout Sebago. I looked at an online map for a very long time yesterday, trying to plan where I want to go. There's a lot of really good structure in this place. There's a ton of shelves, spines, saddles, humps. If you're a deer hunter or any type of really big game hunter, it's basically like hunting an animal, but it's underwater. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, there was a fish. Definitely wanted the swim bait. I think I might pull this blade bait out of the water because they're kind of coming up and seeing it, and they're not liking it. Like they'll see my swim bait. Oh yeah, bombing. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, come on. Oh, that's heavy. That's definitely the heaviest one. Oh yeah, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I just love fishing. Oh, he's going. Yeah, it's a good fish. This is probably going to be my PB if I land it. Oh. Oh my god. Alright, I get why people use bigger setups now. I've only ever really caught the 2-footers. This has got to be a big one. I think it's right here. Oh yeah, that's a big fish. Oh my god. Please get through this hole. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is 100% the biggest lake trout I've ever caught. Oh my god, dude. I mean, I know people have caught bigger, but this is an insane fish for me. Hold on, yeah. Let him settle. Oh my god. This is like a tank for me. This is the biggest lake trout I've seen in person, probably. Dude, that is a gorgeous fish. I'm gonna measure him real quick and then get him back in. I don't want to keep him out too long. This one's going back. 23 and a half, let's say. Oh, what a gorgeous fish. Well, I didn't weigh it. I don't want to keep it out of the longer. Oh my god. I didn't want to keep it out of the water for too long, but that thing was just shy of 24. That was certainly the biggest laker I've ever caught. I mean, I know people around here that fish for lake trout a ton throughout the year. They'll catch like 30+ inch lake trout, and I'd love to do that. However, I'm from Massachusetts where there's not a whole lot of lake trout. And typically I only really ice fish for lake trout, so I don't get a whole lot of trips in for them. However, I'm extremely happy I made this one. I mean, that was a huge fish for me. And it's weird, I mean, a fish that big, you think he'd just absolutely whack the blade bait, no problem, but it's this little tiny swim bait. I'm gonna have to show it to you guys in a second. I think there's another fish on me. Well, there was a fish. He didn't want it as bad as that one though. I think he's still down here. Anyways, I could have kept that 2-footer if I really wanted to. You're allowed one fish over 26 inches. That one wasn't even 26. That wouldn't have even counted as that, but I don't know. No matter how big it is, I'll always let my PBs go. I know that like isn't a monster, like a freaking prehistoric relic, but that's definitely the biggest one I've caught, and I usually like to let those ones go. The 18 inches, like that size range I'll keep, but those bigger ones, Everybody likes to catch those, so I think the more that are in here, the merrier. So I'll show you both my baits right now, talk a little bit about my setups. This one is definitely on the lighter side. I built it with catching like smaller lake trout in mind. I don't remember what size tungsten this is, but honestly just kind of a random tungsten. It's like glow in the dark green with orange in the front, then a white paddle tail on the back. I think this is 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Then I have the Clam Gravity Elite on this thing. I'll be honest, not the best lake trout choice. It is fun to catch them on this, but I think spinning gear is usually the best, and you don't really want to tire the fish out a ton, especially if you're not planning on keeping it. And I can't fully remember what line I put on this. I did it last year. I'm pretty sure this is either 8 or 10 pound. And the rod is the Frostbite Smoke Show, if that will. There we go. I actually really like this rod. I think this one is 37 inches. It's a medium light, which again is not the best choice for lake trout. The lightest I'd go now that I've actually caught some is medium. I bought this when I was like very first preparing for lake trout. And so I kind of got a super heavy setup, a moderate heavy setup, and then like a medium light setup. I think this would be a good rod for like bass, pickerel. I wouldn't even use this rod for pike. It's probably too light, but the smaller lake trout, this thing handles completely fine. But that big one, it was kind of kicking this setup's butt for a little bit. And I will leave that down there for now. The other setup that I got this blade bait on, first of all, got a nice silver shiny blade bait. Kind of resembles a smelt they're eating, that's why I chose it. I want to say this is like 1/2 ounce or something like that. This is just like a Bass Pro Shops, I think it's the SPS line, silver blade bait. Bass Pro Shops, their brand actually makes some pretty good lures. I think they outsource them, like a different company makes them and they brand them, but good stuff. They're not too expensive, so I like it. The line, 20 pound, filled up my reel. The reel is a Daiwa Regal. This is a 2500. You don't really need more than 2500 when you're fishing for lakers through the ice. They're not gonna go on like 100-yard runs. I really judge these by the smoothness of the drag and just the smoothness of the reel itself. And I think for your money, this reel is like the best one you can get. I think this thing was 60 bucks. And honestly, I'd compare it with like some $200 reels. So big fan of these reels. Anything Daiwa makes, I usually trust. And the rod I have here is the Dead Meat. It was 48 inches, but I broke the tip off. Usually they come with an orange, like flexible tip so you can detect bites easier. But before I ever got to use it, I may have closed it in my car door. Thank God it was just the tip of the rod. If it was like halfway down, I would have been very upset. But for lake trout, you don't necessarily need a sensitive rod unless you're like jigging on the very bottom for them and trying to feel when they pick it up. This setup has become my favorite setup, I think. It handles them super good. I think this is the best medium between like having a super heavy rod that you just haul them up on and having too light of a rod that you got to fight them for like 5 minutes before you get them. I really want to hook another like 2-footer like that and see how this rod does. I think it would do pretty good, but this thing is fantastic. This is a medium, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. I've been kind of shifting towards the longer rods. I think 36 is like the best length. This one's a little long. 48, definitely the longest one I have. I mean, at this point, it's probably like 45, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, I like the length just because I feel you get a better hook set with it. Kind of gives you more confidence battling these fish. You get more bend in your rod, there's more action. Just feels better when you have a good fish on and you don't want to lose it. Then I do have one more rod in my box. I'm probably not going to break it out today. That's in case there's like a state record lake trout in the place I'm fishing. I think I got like 25-pound braid with a 15-pound fluoro leader. It's like a 3000 size reel and a heavy action rod that I think is 38 inches. That is certainly overkill for lake trout, but again, that was when I first started fishing. I'd never caught a lake trout before, didn't know what to expect. But yeah, that's gonna be a good rod if I'm fishing like Moosehead or something where I might get like a 36-inch laker or something. I guess I could get one of those out of here, but I don't know. We'll have to see. What was a fish? Yeah, I'm gonna pull this blade bait out of the water. It's seeming to like scare them off almost. They'll follow this swim bait up a bit and they see the blade bait and they're like out of here. Maybe I shouldn't have 2 lines in the water anyway. Oh, that's a fish. There we go. That's a pretty small one, I think. Not even holding my rod correctly. Feels pretty small, not huge. Dang, he's burping up a lot of stuff. Yeah, another small guy. It's okay, I like to catch them. I like to catch all of them. Not an insane one again. It's got some scarring on him. I don't really know what that's from. Might be a bigger fish that tried to whack him or something. God, I love trout. I think I'm gonna keep this one as well. That'll make 3, and I'll wait till I'm ready to kind of go before I decide if I want to start keeping more. Currently 11:09. We're at 5 fish. I've had a whole lot of them on the sonar. They'll kind of come up, check out my lure. I'd say it's like 60% of them will turn away, and like maybe they'll entertain me for a bit, like do small chases, and then they just don't commit and disappear. Then 40% of the time, I'll get a juiced up fish that just wants to absolutely smoke anything that's down there. And like, I can't even reel it away from them fast enough. They just want to absolutely maul this swim bait. So it's kind of just a waiting game. Dude, just the weirdest fish. They're being so strange. I don't know what to do with these things. Oh, he wanted it there. Yep, come on. There we go. Got one of them. God, I had to toy with those things. Ooh, I think this thing has a little more weight than I thought it did. He's digging. I'm gonna get this sonar out. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. That's definitely a lot bigger than I thought it was. Oh my God. Ah, there we go. That is a gorgeous trout. Yes, dude. Took a bit of finagling, but we got another nice one. I don't think it's as big as that first like 2-footer, but it's a stout fish. Looks really healthy. Definitely been eating a lot. Oh, I mean, what a cool fish. Send this guy back down. Thanks for biting, buddy. Yep, thanks. There's still one down there, dude. They were just all over me, but I can't get him to commit. Let's chuck the tube down there, see if that does anything. I want to see one just nail this tube. Yep, there's one at the bottom. Just such a strange group of fish. Oh, he's back. 2 of them are here. Like there's 2 just sitting there. 3 of them actually. 1 on the bottom, 2 above him. I'm gonna drop this thing all the way to the bottom. Sometimes they like to just eat it off the bottom. Oh, that's a fish. Weird fish again. 2 of them. Dude, some of these fish are so weird. When they don't want to chase, it's kind of tough to catch them. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. No, what is up with this fish, dude? What is up with him? The thing with lake trout, at least in my opinion, is like, if they get one really good look at your bait, they're not that interested anymore. I got one chasing me way up right now. They're all just stopping short. There's like 4 fish down here. No way. Oh. No. These fish are toying with me, man. There we go. Not a huge one, but that is a fish right there. Made my bait hit the bottom, reeled it up a little bit, and then he nailed it. Took a while to get this one. He's all right. Small one, nothing crazy. Might keep this one. This will be the last one I keep, just because he's small. This little dude, almost like a brook trout. All right, well, I think my camera is almost completely out of battery, so I think I'm gonna pack up, charge my camera in the car. on the way home, close out this video at home. I'm gonna fillet these guys once I get back. I kept 5. I think I caught 8, maybe? I don't fully remember. I might try and sit here and catch one more, but my feet are cold, fish are slowing down, they're getting finicky, and I got a long walk back that I just want to get over with. So if I don't get another one within the next couple minutes, I'll see you guys either in the car or at my house. Well, turned out to be a pretty good day of fishing. I got one more big trout after all my stuff died, so I was just filming B-roll. That one was a splake. I didn't even realize it until I looked at the picture afterwards. I think one of the other big ones I caught was a splake as well. I never even seen one of those before, so pretty cool to catch one. But Sebago is a place I'll definitely be going back to. That was a super fun day of fishing. But the next video I put out, hopefully, should be the West Grand film. I'm gonna try and make sort of like a documentary type of video. I'm going up today, which is Thursday. We're coming back Sunday. So I should be able to have a couple days to edit out that video by Wednesday. Really excited to film that. I hope we get into a ton of fish. This trip has a notorious nature to it, which is catch 0 fish and drink a lot of beer. I'm gonna hope for lots of fish and lots of beer though, instead of no fish. But anyways, this video turned out a bit longer than I expected it to, which usually means I caught a lot of fish, so I'm not. But anyways, if you like today's video, make sure to leave me a like, helps me out. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to keep up with all of the ice fishing season ahead of us. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.